Hello comrades and welcome to our first video of 2018. And now that we are in the new year, it's time to think of what you should do this year and, well, when you should come to the Nürburgring. And today's topic is we're going to talk to you track days and actually give you reasons why you should book a track day over a casual TF session.
Or in conjunction too,
Exactly. But especially if you're an advanced driver, and B, if you're coming over all the way from the US or Australia or whatever not, it would be a lot more interesting for you. So, long story short, here are the top 5, and maybe even 6, maybe 7 reasons.
We'll see what we come up with,
Let's start with the most exciting one, because on TF, you have to get off the track, and on a track day, you can actually go straight and experience, if you book a taxi lap or you have a fast enough car, over 300 kilometers an hour, or close to 200 miles per hour if you want to count in miles.
Keep on it, all good, keep on it. Yes, 300! So we've done 300 down straight. Yeah, and on the brake. Instructions, Misha. Yeah, and now left curbstone.
I think it's been pretty neat. You know, when you do TF, you get on the track, you do a lap, and you come off.
Yeah.
And you lose time in between. It's not bad to lose that time. It's a good cool down time. It's a good get your thoughts together. But once you've done a couple laps, you want to go out and you want to experience that straightaway, because literally, like in the LT, when we go through, I think last year I saw 322 kilometers an hour in that straightaway, and I could have gone more. Yeah, maybe 325, but you could have gotten a little bit more. But that's really neat to experience. There's very few tracks that you can hit that kind of speed. It is a very, very long straightaway. And to experience that is actually really, really phenomenal.
Yeah, this is the most exciting reason. Doesn't require any further explanation. So let's move on to number 2. On a TF day, because since this year we have amazing counting system that shows the amount of cars that you have on the track. And this year I saw once there was like 420 cars at the same time.
Yep.
And this is just something like, how?
Off the traffic jam.
Most track days, well, actually all track days allow maximum amount of 150 cars. Right. But some track days say gonna be even more exclusive.
I've seen 80.
Seen 80. Yep. In reality, is even if you have 150 maximum, the most amount of cars you have like 20 or
20,
something.
30, maybe 40 at a time. I'm a firm believer in you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
At TF, you pay little and you get a lot of cars on the track. You go to the cheaper track days and you get a lot of cars. You get drivers. See, at TF, you get people that are one-hit wonders. They go out there and they just get a lap in and they ping pong off. They crash 3 times in one lap. They're just out there trying to, set a record so they can tell their buddies. They're going to bullshit them anyways. Yeah. They're going to tell them, I just did an 8-minute lap, but it was really a 9-minute lap and they hit the wall twice. So you get to now you go to track days, and then you go to the cheapest track days, right? And at the cheapest track days, you get some of those people trickling in. You get some of those guys trickling in that mindset. Then you start paying a little bit more money on your track days, and your quality of time on track goes up exponentially. And if you get to the most expensive track days, you get cars out there that are exclusive cars that the owners aren't going to crash them. You get people out there that don't have this mindset, and they're actually going to give you the best track time that you could possibly imagine. We did track days where we did one track day last year where there were 65 cars registered. We did laps where it was a private track. Oh, might as well have just rented the track ourselves at this rate. You know what I mean? Now, it was a track day that cost over €1,000 for the day, but it was the best track day that I've had. And I can tell you that I did probably more quality laps in that track day than 3 other track days combined. So when you're looking at getting the most bang for your buck, don't just spend X amount to go to a track day. Spend a little bit more, get a quality track day, and that's going to be your best bet, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. This is also something that we are more than happy to help you with our expertise, because we've done pretty much every track day, and we know the pros and cons, advantages, and whatever is going to suit you, because probably you don't even need this type of exclusivity. You just want to come drive and benefit from all the other factors. Speaking of which, for example, on TF it's mandatory to have your car street registered, which also limits us in our doing sometimes, because unfortunately that's why we don't have a race car so far, that we can just go drive.
But you go to a track day and you can put wet slicks on the car, right?
Wet slicks when it's raining.
Yeah. So you can, that's our setup for the E92 M3, and we can do that on a track day. Sometimes on TF it's only overtaking on the left, and on certain track days it's left and right, which that's actually not a huge thing. That's nice for the race cars that are practicing and so on and so forth, but I don't
especially for the beginning drivers, it could be a bit confusing.
I think it's nice, you know, there's only 1 or 2 organizers that do that, but that's also a bonus. I mean, there's times that I've enjoyed it. You know, there's times, sometimes you're coming out of a turn, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to pass this guy. If you could just go to the right, it would have been done so much quicker. But yeah, you don't have to have a street registered car. So if you have a track car, if you have a race car, obviously a track day is your only option.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't mean that you need to have a GT3 car, but it could be any, well, even a shitbox for that matter, as long as it's safe. Because on the track days, unlike, well, TF, your cars can or actually will be checked if you come up with a shitbox. They're going to see, okay, are your brakes okay? Are you have a tow hook? They're going to check. And this means, again, also for the other drivers, because, well, sometimes they're not being checked, and then some shitbox gets its coolant hose popped off, and then you drive behind it, and you're gonna have a bad time. Now, obviously, again, this can happen on a track day as well, but the chances that it's actually gonna happen are a lot
I think
lower.
the third point is that what we were talking about earlier is you have because you don't have this TF mentality, you've got people that are paying a little bit more money, so you've excluded the nonsense. Then you've got track cars. You don't have to have all the street legal cars. So the people come with more serious setups. They come with reliable setups. So you have way less track closures. Way less track closures. For me, we had a couple track days this year that had 1 hour track closures, and that was so out of the ordinary. And out of an 8-hour day, we had a 1 hour closure. That meant we have 7 hours of driving. I got 40 laps in one track day. 40 laps. And in between every lap, I pulled in and switched passengers because I gave 35 different passengers laps that day. I did 40 laps in an 8-hour day. If I didn't pull off and give people laps, I could have done probably 50 or 60 laps in one day.
Yeah,
Try and do that on TF.
Kilometers.
Try and do that on TF. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do that on TF. So you have that quality.
We had actually, like this year, we had a couple of customers coming over. They're booking the full day, and unfortunately, they only managed to do like 2 laps, 3 laps, 4 laps max, because the
on
track
TF,
was
exactly.
closed all the time.
Yeah.
And this, again, coming to my first point, if you're coming over from a country far away, don't risk it. Book a track day, because you can come here and you just be spending your time at the Devil's Diner balcony eating a burger and checking out cars.
And something funny was, another thing about track days is we go on a lot of the websites. We have the Nürburgring Now website, which I think is a great source for a lot of people to, you know, get live commentary. But there was some nonsense running around there. Give me some tips on TF or tips on the Nordschleife. Don't drive in the rain. Don't listen. Whoever tells you not to drive in the rain at the Nürburgring, they're not your friend anymore. Just stop listening to them. The Nürburgring is the best place to drive in the rain. Get a coach, get someone to teach you how to get around the track in the rain, and you will have more fun in the rain than you will in the dry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whether the track is dry, half wet, get out there and enjoy it, because the Nürburgring, once you know the wet line, you can go out there and you can go fast, and the track is even more empty. Some of the best TF days that I had in 2017 were in the wet. There was nobody out there. We took the 570 out, and I did 20 laps. No, I did 25 laps in one Sunday in the 570 because there was nobody there. I just kept doing lap after lap after lap. Yeah. You know, and I took I took the whole day and just went out and had fun, and there was nobody there, and you were pushing the car the whole time. Just like you do when it's dry, you're pushing the car and you're learning the car. And what you learn in the wet about when does the back end want to come out, when do you understeer, that's all stuff that you actually can apply then to the dry. So if anyone tells you not to drive TF or not to drive a track day in the wet, they're not doing it right.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess this covers the top 5. We didn't explicitly mention it, but the pro drivers that you get with
I think that's another one. Yeah, the pro drivers, that was the next segment I wanted to go to when I was talking about, okay, you've got the track cars and so on and so forth. Some of the most fun stuff that you have happen. I mean, I was in the LT, and I was doing a taxi lap, and we were just having a blast out there. We were running a quick lap. Everything was going good. And all of a sudden I said, hey, look out my window here in a second, because we're about to get our doors blown off. And the Haribo GT3 just blew by us, you know. And those are things that you can't experience. And some people say, oh, there's all these fast cars. Yeah, you can't experience that on TF. Really, tell me how many places you can go to experience that. You go to Spa for a track day, you go to all these places, they don't have GT3 race cars out there that often. You know what I mean? It's not that common to experience that. So to get to experience that, I think we were, where were we when that happened? We were coming out of Flugplatz, you know, and this guy just came barreling through, and we were in the braking zone coming into Schwedenkreuz. We were in the braking zone. I just got out of the way, and the thing just had so much grip. And for For the passenger, that was just phenomenal. You know what I mean? It was phenomenal to see that. And luckily we were coming into a section where we were able to actually hang with him for a couple turns, because into Arenberg, down into Foxhole and everything like that, he didn't get too far from us. Then we got to miss and all that, and he was gone. But to experience that, you know, coming through Schwedenkreuz, down through Foxhole, that was just so neat even for me. And the passenger, they got out and they were like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. You know, you see this full-on GT3 car just all out running through there. It was really, really cool. And those are the things, you get different experiences on the track days, and I think that really makes it special.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and to finalize, of course we're going to make this video also with a reason, but we want to make it even more interesting for you guys, in case, again, if you're coming over from a country far away, or even from nearby, but you don't have a car, or even if you have a car but you don't have an hotel because you're just coming over maybe from UK, we're gonna run a couple of interesting promos.
Yeah, I think that we want to offer, if you come, really, let's just do this. If you come for TF or a track day and you take one of our cars, you get 10% off.
Yeah.
If you come for TF or track day and you stay in our hotel, you get 10% off.
What if they do both?
If they do both, then we give them 15%. You know, so you combine a hotel and a car rental, and we'll take 15% off all of our prices. If you do one or the other, then you take 10% off. Because the reality is, you're going to come from the UK with your car, maybe. Yeah. So take 10% off the hotel. Yeah. Or you have a friend that's here and you just want to rent a car, or your car broke down. You know, who knows? There's all these different variables. I think that's actually something I just thought of. If your car breaks down and you're on a track day, come to us, we'll give you 15% off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why not? You know, because you came all this way, you paid for the track day. We know just about every track day organizer. Mm-hmm. If we come to them and say, look, our customer broke down, he's going to take our car, we'll get your stickers transferred onto our car, and we'll give you 15% off our car. Yeah.
Sometimes it may happen, if a car breaks down, you might even get a job. That's how it happened with Tim. His motor blew up earlier this year at the end, and then he kind of stayed.
You know, I mean, but really, I think that was a big part for Tim. You know, a lot of people come and want to be at the Nürburgring. We'll make it quick. I said, look, Tim came here from the UK. His motor blew up. He was getting ready to go on the DN track day, and he got a new motor in his car, and he enjoyed it. And I said, this guy has initiative. You know, he's got motivation. He got the job done. Let's talk to him. You know, and that was really for me quite impressive. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we're very looking forward to welcome you, to see you at the Nürburgring, whether you're going to rent a car from us or stay at our hotel. Make sure to check the description of this video, also the first comment, which will be pinned, because there will be the email address of me, who you can talk to regarding all the questions of track days and track cars, and Diana's email, where you can ask everything about the hotel, if you want to have some special requests, like have some flowers on your bed or something.
Some rose petals for your...
Rose petals for your gift, yeah. And also in the description, there'll be a whole calendar of all the track days at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Are we going to do Spa this year?
I think we might do a couple days at Spa. We'll keep that open. It's close by. It's not that far away, and we should do it. And I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You know, if you guys want to do Spa, let us know. We'll go up there. Maybe we'll take the LT. Maybe we'll take something and go do some special laps. But I think the main things to keep in mind are, track days are fun. They're safe. There's less people at them. When you come to a track day with us, we have our hospitality lounge that has croissants in the morning, coffee. Yummy. If it's raining, we have heated seating. We have a place to relax. We've got everything for you. We'll make sure that your time is spent well. We have, if it's your own car and you want to book with us, hey, if you want to go to track day, call us. We'll help you book it. We're probably going to be there with our lounge anyways. Then you'll get access to our lounge. And if something happens, you need access to anyone in the area, we'll help you out with it. So,
long story short, whatever you do, make sure to hit the apex.